of Razab Media on Global TV. And I'm very glad to be here this morning. It is because we are going to take you now into a discussion that is very important. And it is about the electioneering in Nigeria as we speak. Now, hope you know that Nigeria is actually closing up the inches to the 2027 general elections. And because of this, the political atmosphere is becoming increasingly charged, with every decision carrying profound consequences for the nation's democratic future. This Saturday's deadline for political parties to conclude key aspects of their candidate selection process has transformed what was once routine electoral preparation into a defining political moment. But just beyond the race to beat the clock lies a more fundamental question. Are Nigeria's political parties truly prepared for the responsibilities that democracy demands? Is this deadline simply an administrative milestone, or does it expose the deeper structural weaknesses within the nation's political institutions? So, why are some parties still grappling with internal disagreements, litigation, and power struggles at a stage when they should be presenting a united front? Are candidates emerging through transparent competitive processes, or are familiar patterns of imposition, backroom negotiations, and elite bargainings once again taking precedence over internal democracy? Perhaps, even more importantly, what does this moment reveal about the quality of leadership on offer to Nigerians? Will the pressure of meeting the deadline produce stronger, more credible candidates, or will expediency override competence and integrity? As political parties scramble to meet the electoral requirements, are they responding to the aspirations of the electorate, or they are merely just protecting entrenched political interests? The decision that will be taken before the deadline will undoubtedly shape the political landscape for months, if not years, that will be coming soon. They will influence campaign narratives, they will determine political alliances, and ultimately define the choices that are available to millions of voters. Yet, amid the calculations, negotiations, and strategic maneuvering, where do the interests of ordinary Nigerians fit into the equation? And so this morning, we will take our time to examine the implications of the Saturday deadline that has been out by the electoral body, the mounting pressure on political parties, the intrigues that are unfolding behind closed doors, and what these developments could mean for the credibility of the 2027 election. So, is Nigeria witnessing the strengthening of its democratic institutions, or just merely another test of their resilience? And so, our focus this morning will be the 2027 candidates. Saturday deadline putting parties under pressure. My guest this morning, even though we are not specifically talking about his party, but I want you to know that he's good enough to talk to us this morning. I am very glad to have a party man who's here with us this morning, of the ADC, architect Zulkiflu, or rather Zulkifilu Dalhatu, ADC National Ambassador. Good morning and welcome. I don't know, you're smiling. Have I murdered your name? Let's start from there.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having me here. My name is Ak Zulkiflu Dalhatu.
Okay.
Zulkiflu Dalhatu. But you can address me Zulkiflu, or you can address me Dalhatu, or you can call me architect,
Okay.
if that will be easier for you.
All right.
But I would
Thank you
like
very
to
much. For the sake of
I
this
would like
interview, I'll
to
just
point
address you as
I would like
architect
to
and, of course, a
mention
party
that
man of the ADC. Thank you very much. Let's delve into the conversation this morning very deeply. As Saturday deadline approaches, what is truly at
yes.
stake for political parties beyond simply meeting the electoral timetable?
So this is a very good milestone for all Democrats in Nigeria, being that we have reached to a level after we have finished our primary elections so successfully. Now INEC has given us opportunity to upload the name of our candidates, most especially the presidential candidates. Despite all the challenges that we were facing, when you look at the opposition's party, not only my own party, but the whole opposition party, most of them are having problem internally, legal problem, which was created by the current government. Everyone has already knows that. But with this development that INEC has given us opportunity and the court for us to upload the name of our candidate, most especially, as I said, our presidential candidate is what matters the most. That is where the main problem of Nigerian are. So for us as opposition, ADC, I will not talk for other parties, but for us, we are fully 100% ready to face 2027 general election, because we know our candidate is capable. He has integrity, credibility, and the capacity to win the election. Not only winning the election.
I don't want it to look as though we're actually talking about specifically your party, the ADC, because our concern it has to do with the 2027 elections and the rush to upload, and of course the timeline that has been given to the parties by INEC is of great concern to the electorate, and of course it is of great concern to the parties, but I think it is even more of concern to the electorate. And so this brings me to the thought, and I'd love you to also share with us, does this rush to beat the deadline actually strengthen our democracy, or is it actually weakening our democracy? Take note that rushes will actually make political parties to probably upload those who probably would not be able to lead the people.
I don't want you to drag me back to INEC processes and INEC policies, because already since from day one, INEC has already been violating the constitution of Nigeria, governed by how to conduct elections, how to conduct general election. INEC has been creating its own constitution, which has become contradicted to Constitution of Nigeria as amended 1999. So if we start talking about the manipulations and the malpractice that INEC has been planning to make for this our general election, it will going to take us from now till evening, or from now till tomorrow. We have been fighting, we have been calling on INEC, we have been protesting all over of all opposition party that INEC should upload our result directly online. Real-time transmission. We want real-time transmission. INEC refused to do that. INEC keep putting on. INEC putting up some clauses that will give them opportunity to use paperwork. When you look at the schedules and the timetable that INEC has presented to our opposition party, it's not favoring the Nigerian, and it's not encouraging the poor citizens or the masses of Nigeria to come out and cast their votes. Because INEC has already put that timetable after it realized that the APC has already finished arranging all its activities. That is when INEC start setting up their timetable. But thank God, we are resilient, we are focused.
Okay, I want to hold you up there, because you've said something that is it looks a little bit indicting. I hope you know that also, as far as the APC is concerned, they still have their own in-house issues. They have not been able to. The last time we heard from the APC, which you have rightly said just now, that they had already prepared themselves. I hope you know that there's been a whole lot of talks by the APC saying that the names that we uploaded are fake. And so that also makes them unprepared to upload as far as the INEC is concerned. However, having said so, Let me now ask you the preparedness of major political parties to present candidates that are capable of addressing the issues that are actually pressing on Nigerians today. I'm talking about the economic issues. You can talk about also the security challenges. Are parties actually going to be able to present candidates that are capable to fight these issues in Nigeria, APC inclusive?
APC inclusive. So when you look at the politics of Nigeria, most especially nowadays, the major candidate that we have that can be able to rescue Nigeria as they are two, which is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, number one. Then number, I don't even want to open book, or I don't want to open a page where I will go on to discuss concerning the leadership of Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because there is poor of transparency, poor of economy, poor of healthcare, insecurity, and economic growth. Nigerians are suffering. Hunger is all over the country. No one is not feeling the hardship of this present government or present administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Even the APC cadre members, they knows that the Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not capable and he is not ready to take Nigeria to next level, despite all the pet promises that he has been giving to us. When you look at the electricity, when you look at the economic growth, when you look at the insecurity and other social welfare of ordinary citizens, all they are not here. When you look at the level of corruption, look at the current issue that Nigeria are currently discussing, which is the issue of Bajamila, the issue of that the prince that created a poach ministry and poach. I don't even know how to put it. So now, the opposition parties, we are really prepared and we are ready to take Nigeria to the next level. Last few months, we had a meeting in Ibadan, which is on opposition summit, where we discussed that we want to produce one single presidential candidate. And up to now, we are under that discussions that we want to produce only one presidential candidate to fight or to go against the incumbent government of Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because they felt in Nigeria.
One presidential candidate, and this brings us to the thought of the man you have all mentioned very importantly. I'm talking about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and you also mentioned His Excellency Peter Obi on the other side, and that was because you said that these are the two that can actually rescue Nigeria. In your own thinking, what would make these two come together to be able to present one candidate that will fight the opposition party?
We are still working on that.
Don't forget, don't forget that Saturday is the deadline to upload.
Even after the upload, we may decide to ask one of the presidential candidates to withdraw. He can withdraw his ambition. He may decide to say that all my supporters go and back this particular presidential candidate so that we can rescue Nigeria. If the oppositions refuse to organize themselves, it will going to be difficult for us to beat Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027 general election. But still, we will going to beat him. But it's just going to be difficult for us to defeat him.
Again, it looks as though you put yourself in some sort of a tight corner. What makes you think that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is the man that can actually, first and foremost, beat Tinubu, secondly, rescue Nigeria? And do you think that if Atiku Abubakar is actually on the polling papers, that Nigerians will be elated enough, that Nigerians will be encouraged enough to be able to go out to cast their votes?
So Atiku Abubakar is the only presidential candidate that is a nightmare of Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Whoever makes comments or criticizing or criticizing concerning the leadership of Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he doesn't care to respond. But if Alhaji Atiku Abubakar said a word, Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu body will start shaking, and he will become so eager to respond to him. All Nigerians knows that Atiku Abubakar has the national separate of supporters around Nigeria. And he has shown that he is a very strong opposition leader and a very strong democratic Democrat that can lead Nigeria to the next level. Most especially with the current situation of the country, we need a presidential candidate that has experience about presidency. If you do not forget, Wazir Adamo Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has been the vice president of Nigeria for almost 8 years, and he is one that stopped His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo from going to the third tenure. Even before the democratic regime of 1999, Atiku Abubakar is part of the people that part the military that they must submit Nigeria to
I beg to
democracy.
differ. I think that is not completely right when you say that it was Atiku Abubakar who actually stopped Obasanjo from making the third term bid to actually go through. However, just because of our time constraint, I'd love us to just flip over to something that would look like your parting shot as we gradually end. And this would be asking what you think Nigerians, including you, should assess as being what would be credible enough for our emerging leaders. What should we use as an assessment for credibility of our candidates that will be emerging for the elections in 2027? Just in a few minutes, just 1 minute, please.
The best one, we should look someone that has past track record of good governance. That is the major priority thing that Nigeria should look at. Number two, they should look at someone that has experience about how to lead and govern a country, a complicated country like Nigeria. They have to look at someone that doesn't show ethnicity and religion bias or any siding of a particular region, someone that can unite Nigeria. And the fourthly, which is the most important one, Nigerians must look at the candidate that can be able to defeat Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Despite all your qualities, if you cannot be able, if you are not capable, if you are not credible to defeat Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, there is no any point of all your integrity, all your qualities has gone for nothing if you do not defeat him in 2027 general election. What I want Nigerians and our audience to know is that we cannot get a candidate that is 100% clear. We can only have a candidate that is 80 to 90% better, but there is no one that is 100%. So we have to take that who can defeat this current government, because we have already knows that this government is not good for Nigeria. And Nigerians are not happy with the current situation of this government. So we must get someone.
Thank you very much. We'll have this time again with you in the coming days. We'll have this time to discuss more of these party issues with you again. Thank you very much, Architect Silky Filu. You are the ADC National Ambassador, and we are very grateful to have you on the show this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you too for having me.
And that has been the size of the show this morning. It has been Razep Africa Show or Razep Media on Global TV. I'll be taking a bow here. Do well to stay civil and stay coordinated as far as this country is concerned. Don't forget that for the 2027 elections, you have to get your voter card ready. My name is Uyime Anete. Ciao, ciao. God bless Nigeria.